Hello everyone, this is Fully Book Podcast and I am Lexi, this is Anna.
Hello,
And
everyone.
and today we want to talk about how we can open a beauty studio in 2025 on the budget. Anna, so what is the step-by-step guide to open a beauty studio in UK?
When we decide to open a studio, it's quite a process. And first thing that we need to start with is our business plan. Why is that important? Because in the business plan, we define who is our potential client, yeah, to whom we're offering those services. Second thing, we define which services we are offering, what niche we're choosing. Is this nails? Is this brows or lashes or hair or makeup
Or all in one?
or all in one? It can be a salon of a full cycle. It can be a mono studio, whatever you decide to do actually. And then you need to set the clear pricing. If you're using different pricing levels, maybe junior technician or senior technicians, what are their prices, what groups and categories of the prices you have. So the client needs to be sure when he gets on your price list, they understand and they know what they have to book. It needs to be simple, precise, simple words, and nothing complicated. And of course, a part of a business plan, we need to have our income cash flow forecast, not the income, but cash flow forecast, because here we put all our ins, all our outs, and we find out what is going to be our profit from month to month, and actually see at the end of the month, because it's done, the cash flow forecast is done for 12-month period, and then we see how much profit we can do throughout 1 year. Those are the main steps, or after our decision is the business plan, defining who is our client, defining the prices that we have, and then based on that, we can do the cash flow forecast.
Okay, and next step would be a location. So how we can choose low cost location?
The low cost location on the budget could be mobile technician, so you can travel from one client to another throughout the day. A second one would be a home-based setup. Of course, that's the cheapest way, probably, because if you are doing mobile, you still need to calculate your fuel, your insurance on the car. Are you using the public transport? How much is the charge for the day? Lots of things to calculate and put into thinking. And of course, you have the options such as co-working spaces and co-working salon. For example, I work right now in a co-working space. It's not a salon anymore, and that works for me. You have a salon, quite budgety, doesn't have a main entrance, isn't it? But it's still on the high street. You can try to find to rent a space in a salon, which is great, I think, option for a beginner mono studio, because you have already existing clientele, and you can offer introductory offers when they start to come into the salon. If you're coming for the hair, of course, if the services are not overlapping, that's very important. So if you're going to a hair salon and you want to offer nail services, that might work perfectly. But if you're lash technician and someone is doing brows, it might be a little bit overlapping and clash of interests.
Of course, yes. So what about legal things? Yeah, so how we do all this licensing and all this insurancing, and how we do it?
One of the first things you need to do, depending if you want to be a sole trader or you want to be a limited company, you need to register yourself with HMRC. This is basic stuff. I think everyone knows about that, but still. Insurance, of course, is very important. It's for public liability and professional indemnity, because you never know what can happen. And the third one is to check with your local council or borough what sort of a license you need extra for that. Because as I know, in your borough or in your location, you don't need one. However, or for example, for hair, you don't need one. But for nails, in some of the boroughs, you would need a license, a special license.
Okay. So let's talk like we open our studio, yeah. So we have to start to set up what equipment we use, yeah, how we can choose affordable equipment.
I would say when we are setting up our business, yeah, our salon, our unit, you might want to look into a second-hand furniture for your salon, such as a reception desk, which doesn't need to be a brand new one unless you have a very specific design that you want to follow. Chairs, probably with a better quality, but second-hand. For example, I bought my chairs. They're for a very, very nice office and a very, very good state. Like they don't have one single stain on them. They're like spotless. And I bought them like for a fraction of a price.
Okay.
And on the top of that, you need to figure out throughout the time what works the best for your location and for your business. Yeah, what color should be the desks, what color should be the chairs, on what the dust can be seen, on
And
what
then we can choose IKEA as well, which is very affordable.
IKEA is very affordable. It doesn't last for too long, unfortunately, but it is very good option for a startup.
Exactly.
You know, for a beginner, it's quite a lifesaver. All these trolleys, they're amazing. All the desks, then they're so flexible. You can change the design according to what you need, isn't it? So it's actually very good, and it's a little bit of DIY. You know, if you are into that, it might save you a little bit of a penny. Then we need to start only with essential tools. Don't throw yourself into big brands and big names. What I advise at the very beginning, it's nice, it's clean and precise. It does the job. You don't need to, oh, I want this scissors because it has the logo. No one can see that logo, you know. So keep it sweet, keep it low on the budget. Don't throw yourself. You can work towards bigger brands, and plus, you never know. Maybe at some point your business will grow to that level that the brands will offer you to work with them. You know.
Yeah.
So you never know. And using the wholesale supplies, yeah, like buying in bulk, such things as gloves, such things as face masks, toilet paper, toilet roll, like bulbs for the electricity, whatever it is. But buying in bulk is definitely a very, very good option. Definitely saves you a fraction of a price.
Okay. What about marketing? How we can save on marketing, yeah, on branding? So how it works?
Well, of course, it's DIY. Yes, it's instead of trying to hire someone, try to make a little bit of a research and watch some YouTube videos, set up a website on such platforms as Wix or Squarespace, because a website is quite good opportunity when you're setting up your Google page. Yeah, the Google page needs to sort of transfer the client or on a booking system if you have one, or it can be incorporated it can be inserted into the Google page, or it's a website, and then on the website you would have the pricings and how to book. So website is pretty much very, very important. A second thing is the social media. Social media presence is very important in nowadays and gives you extra credibility with the clients. They see that you are there, people are liking, people are leaving reviews. So it's quite important to have that social presence, and create a community presence. Actually, I'm actually learning a lot right now about that. Because when you're creating a community around your business, it has much more life to it. People are more attracted, people talk about it, and people are interested to see what is happening there, you know. Then another thing is to incorporate your add to yourself the booking systems, because booking systems such as 312, Fresha is not only a booking system, it's a platform of advertising as well. So it's quite important to have. It's very convenient for the client, and you being visible on other platforms.
Yeah, where clients trust as well booking systems. Yeah, because you have reputation, you have reviews there.
Yeah, of course. Booking system, it's a must nowadays. It's a must. I would say it's not. Even if you are planning to base your um, studio or beauty business on walk-in, you still should have a booking system into place, because as lots of people, they want to save their time, they want to come straight ahead and sit and have their nails done. They don't want to wait for half an hour or an hour. Maybe on a Saturday and Sunday, yes, but throughout the week, from Monday till Friday, they prefer to save their time. And of course, the last thing is to give extra bonuses for word of mouth spreading. Yes. Yeah, that's very important to give bonuses or discounts or offers for our clients, loyal clients that are actually talking about us and leaving us reviews. That's quite important.
Okay. So what about staff? Yeah, so affordable way to employ staff and how we can save money. Yeah, on that.
At this point, we should go back to our business plan, right? That's very important, because when we are doing our business plan, we need to have a fraction of money, a budget for our staff for 3 or 6 months in advance, paying their fees and paying their salaries. If you don't have a budget to pay that, there is still a solution to that as well. It's freelancers. Yeah, you can give them part-time options to work as they build up their own clientele. You can sublet the tables or the rooms depending on the premises that you are renting, and those are the main 3 ways to build up a team. So the first one is a freelancing part-time job, and then build up from there a full-time job, but you have a budget to pay their salaries for free up to 6 months in advance until they build up the client base, and subletting. Those are the 3 main ways probably that I can see.
Okay. So how we can minimize our overheads?
Minimizing our overheads is trying to use electricity efficient appliances in our salon, in our studio, such lamps, bulbs, washing machines, depending on the studio and what they're using, tumble dryer maybe for the towels. Those things are quite important, because we will be spending lots of money on electricity, not as much as at home, of course, but still.
I would not say. Most of my time I'm here.
Yeah, that's our second home, that's for sure. Second thing would be looking into the leases and contracts when we sign, which are flexible. Not many people know, but it's one thing to mention, that when you're signing a lease, there is a break of clause, which you can finish the lease after a year or 2. So when you're signing, and you legally are allowed to require that to be in your lease and contract. It's not something, out of common. Of course, the person or the landlord probably will be a little bit more cautious to sublet you the property. It's not in their interest to do that, but it's a legal thing to protect yourself from, bankrupting yourself. You never know what can happen in a year. Now imagine another COVID is coming. Yeah, and we can't work, and the salons are closed. What we have to do, but you have this a little bit extra protection behind yourself if in the contract or in the lease you have this break clause. It's for your own safety, and I would advise to look into that and add it to your contract and lease. And of course, we should avoid any unnecessary subscriptions, such as TV license. Yeah, we don't really need that in our studio, because for Netflix and for Amazon Prime, big surprise, but you don't need a TV license. Subscriptions for I don't know, like newsletters and newspapers. We don't need that. Just keep it simple. Don't try to get yourself into a trouble.
Okay. So another question is how we find this money, so this budget to open a beauty studio.
As from my own experience, you and other people that I know, they usually put the money on the side until they have a specific amount of money, and then they are opening the salons. My rule, and the rule of big businessmen, never invest your own money into the business. And I will explain you why. Because if you get yourself, or you find yourself in a very difficult situation that the business is not gaining, is not working, if it's your own money, you would be like, oh, okay, it didn't work out. But if it's the bank money, you will make it work, and you'll make sure that you are having to pay back, because this is how it works. You will make more effort to pay those fees, you know? So when we are deciding to open a studio, one of the first things that comes across into your mind is the loans, startup loans from government. They can give you up to 25K. I started up my business like that. I took 15K as a business loan on a very low percentage, which was great, and it worked out well. I'm paying like monthly for 5 years, and it's not painful, it doesn't hurt, it's absolutely affordable. You can do it. Second one would be the grants from government. You need to chase those ones. You need to go on gov.uk and see what grants are available there from the government.
Yeah, grants are not refundable.
Yeah, grants are non-refundable, but it needs to be corresponding to a specific your rules. And I'm not sure if beauty industry covers that. Yeah, unless it's something very innovative, something super new and something very unusual, then yes. But I think in beauty industry, more likely to get a loan rather than a grant. Then another option would be to check with local boroughs and councils if they have any business programs that you could look into and see how you can start from there. Even in Lewisham, I recently found a business program, by the way, that helps with legal advising. It helps you with contracts, with, by the way, something to mention, local boroughs, local councils have commercial spaces as well. Really? By the way, yes, that you can look into and, you know, ask for them at a very good prices. For example, I know that in Lewisham, there was a business owner that took premises such as a whole club.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was on very, very good terms, because council sometimes still would use that premises for events and stuff like that, but he would still, you know, maintain the space, it's clean, it's looked after. So you could look into actually local boroughs and councils if they might have some commercial spaces available for your interest or for whatever you want to look into. Pretty much, yeah.
So pretty much is that.
So yeah, when you're looking into opening a business in 2025, first, you need to put into place a business plan. Startuploans.co.uk or .com. I'm not sure they have a template how to do that, how to put head to toe a proper business plan, how to make a cash flow forecast. That's very important, and that's very important when you're applying for loans and grants. They will ask you this first thing, a business report. But even if you're trying to find an investor, yeah, like a bank or a private one, they will ask you for a business plan and a cash flow forecast.
This is the first thing.
This is the first thing. And then in the business plan, of course, you will describe already who is your target customer, what is your service, what is your price. And after that, you're going to look into spaces already, because when you're getting the loan, they will ask you to have already premises. That's a little bit a tricky moment, but you need to move very quickly and very fast. And yeah, once you decided on that and you have everything in place in the lease, make sure you protect yourself with a breakup clause. That's for your own safety. After that, you can look already into the furniture, then building up your team, and this is like step by step guidance how to get into the business in 2025.
Thank you, Anna. It was very informative.
Hopefully it helps someone.
Definitely.
Hopefully it helps someone.
Thank you very much, and see you in next episode. Bye.
Bye.